Alright, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Dem Keys, and today I'm gonna be doing more Godot stuff and things. Um, yeah. Today we are gonna be doing more Godot stuff and things. I'm almost done with the. There was this. Hold on. Here. I'm almost done with this custom signals section, and once I'm done with this, I want to try and build something of my own. Not necessarily a game, but just like a small little silly thing that I can... I want to make a hello world thing. My own little hello world kind of... I don't know what to call it, but like it's going to be a video. That's all I can say. It's a little hello world sequence, let's call it that. And I want to use physics and stuff like collision and add force and stuff like that in order to create interesting effects. But yeah, I want to make a little hello world thing, and then I'm going to post that on Twitter. And then we're going to carry on exploring more of Godot. I think... Dude, as much as I should be looking into both the your first 2D game and your first 3D game sections, I kind of don't want to, if I'm being honest. Like, my brain is just telling me, dude, go explore by yourself. Enough with, the whole step-by-step tutorial thing. The step-by-step thing taught me the basics, and now I just want to go and explore by myself. This isn't specific to Godot, by the way. I had the same issue with Unity. I mean, I don't think I should have to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing, but like I'm just saying, this isn't specific to Godot. I had this issue with Unity as well, where I learned the basics, but then when it came to, they had like tutorial series. They had a lot of people who were making not just people making tutorials on YouTube. They had like teams dedicated to building tutorials, and back in the day they would also do these live streams where they would teach various Unity related things. In fact, back in those days, some of their docs, their manual pages, they also linked to the live stream. I forgot what they would call them. I think they were called Unity Dev Day. I forgot exactly what it was called. I never managed to catch any of the Twitch live streams, but I would catch the VODs later on. Mostly after finding them being referenced in any of the manual pages. And something I realized was that when it came to them teaching how to, do an entire project from start to finish, as great as that might be, I have a very hard time following along with that kind of stuff. Because when it comes to that kind of stuff, I would rather do it myself and figure it out in my own way. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm impatient. I don't think it's just the fact that I am kind of impatient, but like, I don't think that's the only reason. I think the other reason is that my way of learning is to, learn and experiment and do various things until I'm able to connect the dots in my head. And the best way for me to get to the point where I'm connecting the dots in my head is for me to experiment by myself instead of following somebody's tutorial on making an entire game. Like, that's just the way that it works with me. So we are gonna move on to doing stuff that we planned to do. I'm gonna make, I got another idea earlier, shortly before starting the stream. I was like, dude, I'm making this what do you call it? Fuck am I making? Soundboard. Yeah, the soundboard application. I'm making the soundboard application, and I'm going to be making it in Godot, right? Now, I don't at all intend on restarting my entire VTubing application in Godot. I have no plans of doing that. The VTubing app, I've been developing it in Unity. It's not like I'm like, very too much further into the development, but like I have done a certain amount of work. I have done a considerable amount of work so far, and I've built the architecture around how Unity works. I don't want to change that, if I'm being honest, because it's gonna waste a lot of time. As great as it might be to rebuild the thing in Godot, and I'm probably going to be getting good performance as well. I don't want to spend the time rebuilding the architecture, especially since I've gotten up to a certain point. Besides, um, carrying on in Unity is not really going to affect me negatively, because like the application that I'm building is not something that I plan on selling. It's it's for my own personal use. Maybe I might open source some parts of. To be honest, I have no problem with open sourcing the entire VTubing application that I'm building. The only reason why I would not be comfortable with just dumping the entire project on GitHub is because I don't trust myself to not accidentally leave any sensitive information in there. Like, I can't help but think that I might accidentally leave an OAuth token in there or something, and I might not realize it until it's too late. Of course, like OAuth tokens, they can be revoked. At least to my knowledge, like it's not like a permanent thing usually. I don't know how it works on all platforms, but like the platforms that I've seen, they do give you an option to revoke the OAuth token. That being said, I still don't want to take that chance because I'm not comfortable with that. So that's the only reason why I would not want to completely open source the project. I would be happy to open source like components of it. And I'm happy to explain to people as well how the thing works. I can show the code on stream, stuff like that. It's just, once again, like I said, the only reason I'm not comfortable with dumping the entire project is because I don't trust myself to not accidentally leave some sensitive information in there, some kind of credentials or something. Like if that wasn't an issue, if that wasn't the case, because like usually when I'm coding, I'm not gonna be careful about oh, let me not leave code, let me not leave some credentials in here. I might leave it in there and be like, yeah, okay, it's my own project, so I don't need to worry about it. Which, to be fair, I would also need to worry about it if I'm doing it on stream. Like, there is that as well. So I would need to worry about it anyways. Generally, what I like to do, what I did with my one of my previous programs where I was building the Twitch API from scratch. Well, I didn't build the entire thing from scratch. I built like maybe 6 or 8 endpoints at most, just specific ones that I needed to use. I built the functionality for those to be able to communicate with those endpoints. But authorization was one of the things as well that I needed. So I had to find a safer way to do it so I could do it on stream then. And so I wrote methods to read from a file and also write to a file when I'm creating a new token or something like that. So generally that's the practice that I would want to follow. But yeah, once again, like it's the same thing. Like I don't trust myself to not be careless with the credentials. That is why I wouldn't be comfortable with dumping the entire project on GitHub. But like with the other projects that I'm making, they won't necessarily have any sort of Twitch integration or any other kind of integration that requires an OAuth token. So I can dump those very easily. I can also dump like pieces, like components of the VTubing application on GitHub. That wouldn't be an issue. And of course, if anyone wants to learn how I made something that I did, whatever I'm doing here, it's not something special. Like, let me just put that out there. Anyone who knows how to use Unity and who knows how to do programming and is actually interested in making a VTubing application, they can use their knowledge and build something similar. So like if you're not getting that knowledge from me, you're probably going to get it from a bunch of other people. There are people who have made there are people who have made general purpose applications, VTubing applications, as in they've made VTubing applications that are not necessarily for their own personal use. They're meant to be used by a bunch of other people. Vnyan is a current very popular example. I remember hearing about something called VTS Pog. Let me just Google that real quick, because I remember seeing the itch.io page of another application similar to Vnyan. But like I don't remember exactly. Hold on, let me just look that up. VTube Studio Processor of okay, so VTS Pog is a different thing. There was a different application similar to Vnyan. Vnyan is free. That other application was not free. That's all I remember right now, but I cannot remember the name of that other application. That being said, if you want to check out Vnyan, go check it out. The creator, Suvi, they stream on Twitch. They also stream the development process on Twitch. Go check them out. Their name is Suvi. I don't know how to pronounce the rest. Hold on. Let me just... I'm probably going to butcher this, but I think their name is Suvidriel or Suvidriel. It's Suvidriel. I'm just going to say Suvi, so I'm not butchering the name over and over again. Go check them out. They are the creator of Vnyan, and Vnyan is a perfect example of a VTubing application that it's meant to be a general purpose application. It's meant to be used by multiple people, so you have tools built into it that allow you to do various things. One very powerful thing about Vnyan is that it allows you to create logic. Suvi has worked on this. Actually, I don't know if it's just Suvi or if there's other people helping them with the project. Like if there are other developers on the team, I have no idea. So I'm just gonna say Suvi. So they made this. Basically, they created a way for you to create logic. They built a node-based workflow that you can use to create logic. And that's really powerful, dude. Like when you give the user the ability to create logic, they can do a lot with that. It's one of the reasons why VR chat has gotten to where it is today, and why you're seeing all of these amazing creations in VR chat. All of this stuff started after Udon. Udon is, for those of you who don't know, is VR chat's own, how exactly should I say this? I want to say it's their own programming language, but it's not really their own programming language. Udon is their own technology that allows the user to create logic using either their node-based workflow, which would be Udon Graph, or using C#, or well, in this case, Udon Sharp. So that right there is really powerful. You give the user the ability to create logic, then they can do quite a lot. At least a lot more than what they could do back in the day with only triggers and actions, I think they were called. I haven't heard of those terms being used together. I haven't heard that in like years, so like I kind of forgot about it. But yeah, back in the day they used like a trigger action kind of workflow to create logic, and that even then it was kind of limited. Like people made amazing stuff. Don't get me wrong, people made amazing stuff with it, but like it was limited, and making complex systems could get really, really hectic. So with Udon, they had the ability to create logic in a much more straightforward way, and creating complex systems wasn't as big of a headache anymore. So my point is, yeah, Vnyan allows you to create logic, so you can do a lot of custom stuff. You're not limited to just what the app offers you. you can actually create graphs, node graphs, which by the way you can export and share with other people as well. Like that's amazing. That that kind of stuff right there, it basically allows the community to help. So the community can use Vinyan and make a bunch of node graphs that would be useful for other people to use, right? Other streamers or YouTubers or whoever is using Vinyan. It would make it a lot easier. It would basically allow these people to add a lot of features that they wanted. Um, I'd been meaning to try out the SDK side of Vinyan, but I just never got around to doing it. There's just so many other things that I want to do, dude. Like there's only so many things that I can give my time to. But yeah, okay. Back to what I went on quite a tangent. Give me a second. I need to hydrate, and then I'll carry on with my tangent. All right. So, like I was saying, like I was saying before I went on this long tangent. Prior to starting the stream, I got this thought that I won't be. I have no intentions of moving my VTubing application over to Godot. At least not at the moment. Mostly because it's just going to be an extra amount of work for nothing. Like doing it in Godot it's great and all, but I would rather build the VTubing application with the technology that I know quite a bit about, and I have a decade's worth of experience in Unity. So that's probably the best thing for me to build my VTubing application in. Especially because when I'm doing it in Unity, I won't have to spend time learning how to do what I'm trying to do and then spend time doing the thing. I can just spend time doing the thing. Like if I'm doing it in Unity and I want to do something, I want to implement something, chances are I'm going to know how to approach doing it. But if I have to do it in Godot, given how much of a beginner I am in Godot right now, my first task, my first challenge is going to be to figure out how to do what I'm trying to do, and then spend time doing it. So it's gonna add more work on, So I'm not. So far, right now, I don't intend on moving the VTubing application over to Godot. But. Dude, as I'm saying this, I can't help but think how much better it would be if I moved the application over to Godot. I feel like it would be a lot more lightweight. But the only issue I have, again, it's that I don't know too much about the engine. So if I want to do something, I'm going to have to first learn how to do that and then do it. So it becomes like a double work thing, which I don't mind doing the extra work, but dude, when I'm working on the project, I would rather just work on the project, not have to also learn a bunch of stuff as I'm working on the project. I don't know. Maybe at some point, maybe someday in the future, I might work on. I might recreate the thing in Godot. Maybe I might make a bare bones version in Godot. We'll see how that goes. I'm also curious about how networking would work in Godot, because so far what I've seen is I don't know too much about it, but like what I'm seeing is like ready-made structures, ready-made systems that we are supposed to use. I'm not, for example, seeing a way to actually, let me rephrase that. I'm not seeing a way to, for example, implement bare bones sockets, at least with GD script, like directly with GD script. I'm not seeing a way to implement bare bones sockets. I can do that with C sharp. That being said, I haven't looked too much into it yet, so it could just be the fact that I don't know much about the networking side of Godot. We can okay, so in the manual they had a networking section that was here. We can take a look at this. So far, what I want to do is I want to do UDP sockets, right? A lot of the stuff that they're doing, I mean, considering that Godot is a game engine, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, it's geared towards building games. But like the stuff that I'm trying to do, well, I mean, I don't know to what extent that's true, but like so far, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, it really seems like it's geared towards building games. That being said, you are not limited to that. You can use it for other stuff. It's just that I need to be able to figure out, oh, okay, this thing that can be used for this purpose, I could probably use it for my purpose as well. Now, in networking, they have high-level multiplayer. I'm not looking for that. I'm not trying to make HTTP requests. That's much more high level. I'm trying to go like one or two OSI layers below that. HTTP client class, SSL certificates, WebSocket. WebSocket is like it's its own protocol that allows you to implement like a client and a server that can communicate with each other. But again, I'm not trying to do that either. I'm trying to implement my own like bare bones socket. So what I'm thinking is for this specific part, for this specific piece of the application, if I did ever implement a VTubing, if I did ever create a VTubing program in Godot, I think for this specific part, I would need to use C sharp. I feel like C sharp would be much more well suited. Or if I want, I could also use Rust, which I do intend on testing out both C sharp and Rust. I do want to test out Python as well, but like, I don't know. I looked at that repo, the Python for Rust, no, Python for Godot repo, and it seems like there hasn't been too much work being done on it in the past couple of years. There was like at one point in time, it might have been quite famous, but like right now, I'm not seeing my. So the reason I'm looking at how recent how recently the repo was updated. The reason I'm looking at that is because if the extension is, let's say, 5 years old, or if the last update to the extension was 5 years ago, back then we might have been in Godot 3. I don't know when Godot 4 came out, but they might have been in Godot 3. And I think between Godot 3 and 4, there's like a lot of difference. So plugins that might have been made for 3 may not necessarily completely work with 4. There might be some changes that need to be done, or things might break. That's why when I see a repo that hasn't had too many commits in the last couple of years, I'm like, okay, I don't know if they're still maintaining it. So like if any bugs or something do come up, or if anyone has feature requests or anything like that, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to, if the dev is going to be able to work on it anymore. Like maybe they've moved on. I mean, that's how open source works, right? Like it is what it is. They provided the team that worked on this this extension. They did a great job. They helped the community out, and they did it on their own time while they were able to. If they're not able to anymore, then that's perfectly understandable as well. Other community members can try to help out. They can make their own like pull requests and stuff like that. Or if people see that this repo is not being maintained anymore, somebody could fork the repo. That's the great thing about GitHub, right? You can fork the repo and make your own. You can fork the repo and then work on your own fork. And if enough people think that your version is a lot more up to date, they'll start using your version. Give me a second. Okay, so I keep trying to get to the point, but then I keep getting distracted again and again. So while currently I have no plans to port my VTubing application from Unity to Godot, I am considering working on the various other pieces in Godot. For example, I have the VTubing application, but I also had some remote control applications that I wanted to use. I could work on those in Godot. I don't have to work on those in Unity. That's actually a great thing for me. Why? Because Godot works great on Linux as well as Unity. No, not Unity, as well as Windows. I can't say for sure. I don't know if Linux was what was originally supported. I don't know if Linux was their first platform. Hold on, let me just look this up so I'm not giving the wrong information. Godot first platform support. Okay, let's take a look at the Wikipedia page and see if that mentions it. Because, I mean, it does mention that it does mention that it supports Linux, Windows, and Mac OS, but it's not mentioning which one was first. Is there like a history section to this? Oh, okay. Prior to open sourcing it, Juan and Ariel co-founded CodeNix in 1999. That's interesting. A game development consulting company through. Okay, all right. I can read this in my own time. Hold on. Godot received 20K Mozilla Open Source Support Award to be used to add WebSockets, WebAssembly, and WebGL 2.0. Okay, all right, great, cool. Well, okay, fine. I'm not going to say that Linux was the first thing that they supported, but like I remember reading somewhere. I don't know if I'm just remembering wrong, but yeah, my point is Godot works on both Linux and Windows, right? But more importantly, Godot works better on Linux than Unity does, at least in my case, because I tried running Unity on Ubuntu Studio, and it was not a good experience. I mean, it's okay when you're doing stuff with the built-in render pipeline, but even then, at some point in time, they got rid of the ability to change the scale of the UI on the Linux side, and that became a huge headache because for some reason my UI became super small and the text became super small. It became very unusable for me. I was still able to like use it to prototype some things here and there, but it was not good enough that I could, build an entire project with it. It was just too much of a headache. To make matters worse, SRP just did not work on, at least with the specific system that I was using. SRP didn't work. If I created a project that used SRP, the scene view would just be a big mess. It would be filled with artifacts. So that told me that, yeah, The support, it's just not there. And Unity also, they were just barely supporting the Linux version. Uh, like, let's be honest, at least from my point of view, they were barely supporting the Linux version. Give me a second while I hydrate. All right, welcome back. As I was done hydrating, I looked over to my stream manager and noticed that there was an ad already playing, so I just sat quiet for like 20 seconds. But anyways, like I was saying, I think it would be in my best interest to work on the other components, the external components of the VTubing application in Godot. Voice crack. In Godot. Because it would make iteration a lot more easier for me, especially since Godot is a lot more lightweight than Unity. I would be able to build the thing on the other system. Like, I wouldn't even need to build it on my streaming system. I might do that for. What the fuck is that? Give me a second. Oh, okay. I was seeing something moving in my okay, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. Hold on. My cursor is here. Let me just make sure it's moving on screen. There's a bit of a delay. Okay, so my cursor is here. Down here is, I think this is called the taskbar. I forgot exactly what it's called. Because I know the right side is called the taskbar. I don't know if the entire thing is called the taskbar or not. But yeah, down here, I was seeing some kind of animation and I have no idea. Oh, I just realized what it is. It's my VTubing application that was showing up because the taskbar appears to be semi-transparent. So it's my VTuber avatar. The spheres that are moving around, they were moving at the bottom, and I was like, what is moving down there? Okay, anyways. So like I was saying, I'm considering working on the components, the various components, the external components for my VTubing application. I'm considering working on them in Godot because they're small and simple enough that it wouldn't be, I mean, it would still be a challenge working on them in Godot because I'm new to Godot, but it wouldn't be as big of a headache is what I'm saying. So I'm 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 willing to take up that challenge, and in a way it would be good because I would also get to learn as I work on, various applications in Godot. I would get better at Godot, so in a way it works out well for me. Okay, that being said, let's finish this. Okay, give me give me a couple of minutes. I'm gonna take a break for a couple of minutes and be back. You guys enjoy the music until then. After I come back, we will carry on with learning about signals and stuff.
يوتيوب ميوزك بريميوم تمنحك تحكماً كاملاً في أغانيك بلا إعلانات لتشغلها بدون إنترنت والاستمرار في تشغيلها في الخلفية. احصل على يوتيوب ميوزك بريميوم.
All right, I am back. Also, it seems like the music paused. I think YouTube paused it. Yep, there it is. Let me just resume that, and then we can carry on. Okay, so enough with the tangents. I mean, I'm saying that. I don't think. I think eventually I'm gonna get distracted and have another tangent again, but like, let's see. So here's my here's my goal, my idea, my roadmap. Let's call it a roadmap because I'm not able to think of. I think I'm going on another tangent again. Anyways, here's my roadmap. What I want to do after I finish this one section of the getting started thing area. Once I the signals thing. Once I finish the signals section, I want to start looking into how to do various things. So what I'll do is I'll think of something that I want to achieve, something that I want to create, not a whole game, but like, specific things here and there, like random silly things that I want to create, and then I'll look into how to do those things. Think of it as like mini projects that I'm going to be doing, and that's going to help me learn more about the Godot editor and how things are done in the Godot editor, because there's still a lot that I want to explore. I haven't touched the VFX and shaders side of it. I really want to go deeper into that side of things, because it seems like there's a bit of a shortage there from what I'm seeing. Not in their feature set. There's a bit of a shortage in, how do I put this, VFX available. I guess that's a better way to put it. So what I want to do is I want to learn how to use their VFX tools and learn how to do shader stuff in Godot. It definitely helps that I already have shader knowledge. I'm going to have to learn, I think they use GLSL. What shader language does Godot use? Hold on, give me a second. I think shaders was a separate section, wasn't it? Shaders. There you go. So, introduction to shaders. No, okay, they use their own shading language. Godot uses a shading language similar to GLSL ES 3.0. Most data types and functions are supported. Okay, that's good to know. So, based on my previous shader experience, something that I've learned, especially doing stuff in Unity, doing shader stuff in Unity, in fact, doing all my shader stuff in Unity, something that I learned is that there are things that will not be mentioned in the documentation because, or at least, in the game engine's documentation, because their assumption is that this stuff, or you're going to get this information that's missing, you're going to get it from the other platforms. So in the case of Unity, Unity actually supported a couple of shading languages. They supported CG, which was made by NVIDIA. They supported, I believe it was made by NVIDIA. I hope I'm right about it. I think CG was made by, I don't think I'm wrong about it. Hold on, wait, let me just make sure I'm right about that. It helps that I have another computer at my disposal, so I can just easily Google shit without having to do it on the streaming system. CG creator company, I guess. What just happened? Oh, wrong mouse. CG NVIDIA. I believe CG was made by NVIDIA. Albeit, back in the day. CG programming language developed by NVIDIA and Microsoft for programming shaders. Okay, so it was made by NVIDIA and Microsoft. Okay, so Unity supported CG and later HLSL as well. HLSL was made by Microsoft, and they also supported GLSL to a certain extent. There were some limitations there with GLSL. I don't know if Vulkan had their own shading language, its own shading language, or if that also used GLSL. But yeah, that's my point. Unity supported a couple of different shading languages, and they handled all the compilation and all for you. So from the shader coder's point of view, you would just be writing shader lab code, which was their own sort of language that they had developed. Not necessarily their own language, it was their own template. Let's say they made their own template. You would have to follow that template, and then within that template you could like plug in your own code for various things, whether you were using CG or HLSL or GLSL. You would put the appropriate functions in there, and you could define constants, and you could like activate or disable various features and stuff like that. So something that I learned, and it took me a couple of years to understand this, is that the Unity documentation does not give you all the information about shaders. The Unity documentation gives you information about doing stuff in Shader Lab, but considering that within Shader Lab, you create blocks of shader code which are written in either CG, HLSL, OpenGL, no, not OpenGL, GLSL, or one of the other, or whatever other shading languages they support. Considering that is the case, you should be going and looking at the official documentation of that language itself, not just what Unity tells you. Because, well, okay, you should be looking at both. You should be looking at the Shader Lab, the Unity side of the docs, but also look at that language's docs, because there are so many features that I did not know about until I looked further into the graphics programming side of things. For example, I did not know that you could, back in the day, at least from just reading the Unity shader documentation, see, I knew I was going to go on a tangent again. Anyways, just by looking at the Unity shader documentation, I didn't know that you could implement geometry shaders. The geometry stage is one of the stages in the graphics pipeline. The most common two stages to implement are the vertex stage and the fragment stage. The fragment stage is also called the pixel stage. So you would be implementing, you would be writing your vertex program, and then you'd be writing your fragment/pixel program, and then those would then be handled by the appropriate, stage in the graphics pipeline. Where was I going with this? Shit, I lost my train of thought. My point is, what I've learned from doing shader stuff all these years is that you're not going to get all of the shader information, shader and GPU programming related information from just the game engine. I'm also not expecting Godot to give all of that information. I could be wrong. If they are giving all of that information, because like this is a community driven project, right? So someone must have suggested that, hey, put the information in here. If they are giving all that information, great. But at the same time, I definitely want to go and look at GLSL ES 3.0 just so that I can know about all of the possibilities. For example, when I learned, and this is like the best example I can come up with of why it's important to go and read the shading languages documentation as well as the game engines documentation, is that back when I was learning about shaders, what I learned was that you're gonna have the fragment stage / pixel stage, and that's like that executes, let's just say for the sake of simplicity, once per pixel that is occupying per pixel that mesh is occupying on the screen. It executes once per that, but getting values of specific pixels would not be possible. That is what I had learned, right? Based on what knowledge I had. I was not using HLSL at all at the time. I was mainly using CG. But more importantly, I wasn't using HLSL specific methods. If I had looked into HLSL specific methods, then I would have found out that, oh, they have certain methods to read specific pixels or texels of the texture, and that is very useful because that has allowed people to create systems. So you could like write one you could write some information into a texture, right? And then different stages or different programs within or different sections within your program can read different texels from the texture for certain values, and based on those values they can do their operation. So this way you can build an entire system using just shaders and textures. And people have done that. Like, this is not something new that I'm talking about. People have done this. You'll see plenty of great examples in VR chat. Audio link, if you're familiar with that, it does that. Like, it stores the information in a texture, and then that texture gets read by various shaders. So you read specific texels on the texture to let's say, if you are talking about, I'm not even sure what example to give. So audio link, basically it gives you, it analyzes, how should I word that? Okay, so you have the idea of getting audio spectrum data and then using it for VFX related stuff. But like, the raw data that Unity gives you is really raw. Like, it is not usable. That's not, it's that's not a bad thing that it's raw. It's giving you what it's supposed to give you, but the point is that that data in its raw form cannot be applied to VFX, because you're going to get very erratic, very sudden. There's a lot of noise in it. Let's just put it in that way. There's a lot of noise in it. You cannot use it for creating nice VFX stuff. So this is where you need to do what's called digital signal processing. This is where you have to process the, well, I don't know if, no. I don't know if DSP necessarily apply, but DSP does apply in a certain way over here. But this is where you have to process the signal, and transform it in different ways, or transform it so it can be presented in different ways to the user. And that's what, that and a lot more is what audio link does. It processes the signal, it processes the data, and it presents it to you in various ways that you, as as a shader creator or as a VFX creator, can use to drive various types of VFX. But yeah, that tangent aside, let me just hydrate real quick, and then let's try to get back to this. We are almost 1 hour into the stream, and I haven't done this. Hold on. All right, so we are learning about custom signals. We learned yesterday about just signals, or well, the concept of signals, signals that various nodes fire. I think that's a right terminology. And we learned how to hook into those signals and do various things in our code. We also learn how to do that through coding, like how to how to hook into the signals of various nodes via code. So you don't have to do all of it through through the UI. Being able to do it through code is it's a very powerful thing because it makes things a lot more dynamic. So you can do this stuff during runtime then. Okay. Custom signals. This section is a reference on how to define and use your own signals and does not build upon the project created in previous lessons. Okay, sounds good. You can define custom signals in a script. Say for example that you want to show a game over screen. Say for example that you want to show a game over screen when the player's health reaches 0. To do this, No, to do so, you could define a signal named died or health depleted when the health reaches 0. Okay, so that is the syntax to create a signal. As signals as signals represent events that just occurred, we generally use an action verb in the past tense in their names. So like on button clicked. That makes sense. All right. So that's like a that's more of a convention. Your signals work in the same way as the built-in ones. They appear in the Node tab. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So you can then hook into this from other nodes. Okay, your signals work in the same way as built-in ones. They appear in the Node tab, and they can connect. No, and you can connect to them like any other. To emit a signal in your scripts, call emit on the signal. Uh oh, okay. It's that simple. Okay, we can test something out in this way. A signal can optionally declare one or more arguments. Specify the argument names between between parentheses. All right, great, awesome. The signal arguments show up in the editor's node doc, and Godot can use them to generate callback functions for you. Wait, what? The signal arguments show up in the editor's node doc, and oh, okay, so this is important, right? I'm slowly starting to sort of grasp the terminology that oh, okay, we have the concept of docs. Each of these panels in like what we would call panels in Unity. Actually, I forgot what it's called in Unity as well. I haven't I haven't used the terminology in so long. I just call it a panel and I say, oh, okay, we're moving the panel here and there. All right. So yeah, these are called docs apparently. The file system doc, the scene doc, the node doc, the I think this is also called the inspector doc. Can we move this? Oh yeah, okay, we can move it. Can we move this here? No. So scene related stuff. I think I remember Freya complaining about this as well. Their the ability to customize the layout, it seems to have some limitations. I haven't messed around with it enough to know myself what all the limitations are, but apparently there are some limitations in terms of how well you can customize it. You can't just move anything anywhere. I guess we'll try that. We'll try moving everything in different locations. Because like, okay, so far it doesn't seem like can I put the file system here? Nope, that doesn't work. Scene cannot be put here. Nothing from any of the others can be put here. Only scene related stuff can be put here. Right? And likewise, it doesn't seem like these can, like scene related stuff also cannot be put into any of the other sections. Oh, what is this? Dock position. What if I select this? What happens then? Okay, I can put it down here. All right. What happens if I decide to just do this? All right. Actually, I like this. I like the idea of being able to just click in this way. That's convenient. No, that is convenient. That is actually convenient. Hell yeah, dude. Like it knows how to handle like these situations. I like that. I like that. Now, what is supposed to go in the center? So like we don't have the ability to put anything in the center over here. At least that's what it seems like. It seems like you can only put scene stuff in the center. I guess okay, we'll look into that later. Also, I wonder what these arrows are for. What are these supposed to do? Okay, we'll look into that later as well. We haven't looked into like creating layouts, custom layouts in Godot. Okay, however, you can still emit any number of arguments when you emit signals. So it's up to you to emit the correct values. Give me a second, guys. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm wondering if I should make something for Spookality this year. Cause all right, so submissions are open. No, submissions will open on the 25th of September. When will they close though? Because like I haven't made anything for Spookality. I have to read the blog post and see what the theme is or like what the specific requirements are. We just push so and so to this one's got a bunch of new additions, features, and even a whole new system. The content gating system allows creators to label avatars and worlds with various labels. These labels will allow us to integrate a filtering system in a later update. We just released a blog post about this. Yeah, I haven't read the recent blog post completely, so I think I need to. This is a good reminder that I need to finish reading that thing. Okay, you can now preload worlds. Oh man, that's exciting. Added a timeline for group announcements. Okay, added language detection. If your system hold on, easy, easy. Just a second, guys. I'm reading the patch notes for. Actually, maybe we can read that on stream. Let me give me a second. Oh, did the music stop? Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna start it again, and we're gonna turn shuffle on. Just a second.
That thing he uses to warm up and stay loose before he throws it down. That thing Tony Finau uses on course between shots. Ooh, that's money.
All right. Skip the ad. Okay, great. All right, now let me open up this thing. Okay, so I'm looking for what is the link? We're just gonna look at the release notes real quick. Um, Where is it? Is there like a proper link where I can read this entire thing? Full release notes here. Okay. What is the link? Docs.vrchat.com slash v2023.3.3.docs. We are supposed to be working on something, but then like at this point it kind of seems like well, I mean, not really. I was about to say it kind of seems like my titles are clickbait, but like I mean I started adding like jokes and stuff into them, so like I don't think it really matters. Okay, so I'm gonna transition now, and oh, you know what? Yeah, I should also add the large thing and disable the small thing, and let me also move my VTubing avatar. Let's bring it down here, I guess. Let me just make sure we are good. Yeah, we are good. Okay, awesome. So let's transition and let's all read the release notes. Can I minimize this? Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so implemented the content gating labeling system. Avatars and worlds can have content gating labels added to them at upload time or via the VRChat home website. These warnings will content gating. Oh, so like 18 plus content, for example? Okay, that's interesting. These warnings will appear in the VRChat UI. Actually, I don't know if it's going to be specifically 18 plus stuff because like they don't allow NSFW content, but I mean, stuff could still be 18 plus without necessarily being very NSFW and, you know, breaking TOS. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's still that's good. These warnings will appear in. So I'd imagine it would be kind of like how Twitch has this thing now, where you can add labels for, or well, you can mention that your stream is for a mature audience, and then before somebody opens up your stream, there'll be a warning there saying, "This content is for mature audience. Do you still want to watch?" So I think it's going to be something similar to that. Okay, these warnings will appear in the VRChat UI. They will be used to filter content for users in an upcoming update. This filter isn't in yet, but we are telling you about it now. We are putting in the labeling now /first so you can label stuff. That makes sense. You should read the blog post for more info, for more filter info. But here's the TLDR. Users under 18 have all content gating labels on by default and cannot turn any labels off. Users 18 or older have all content gating labels off by default and can turn each label on as they see fit. Okay, there's a lot to this system, so please read so-and-so and the content gating blog. Wait, they made a separate content gating blog post? Oh yeah, okay, so this is a separate thing. I thought it was part of the dev log, dev blog, the dev log that they do usually. Okay, yeah, I can read this later. We've also updated our creator guidelines to account for this new system and to define what each label means. Read it. Okay, cool. You know what? Okay, let's read it. Actually, yeah, let's read what the labels are gonna be. Maybe they mentioned the labels here. Okay, there it is. So this is for 18 plus stuff. Okay, All right, cool. Sounds good, dude. We don't need to look at this right now. Okay, you can now preload worlds. Awesome. If skip on load is enabled, you'll now entirely skip the download screen for worlds. For worlds you've recently visited or preloaded. You can find this setting in so-and-so. Okay. Added a timeline for group announcements. You can now read. Oh, so this then becomes kind of like a wall in Facebook groups, or kind of like, Twitter timeline where you see multiple messages. That's great. Wait, can anyone post in the timeline? I guess. Yeah, I don't know yet. I think maybe you can, like, if you cannot now, then maybe in the future you'll be able to give roles for who can post in the timeline. But at the very least, this is gonna allow, like, multiple group announcements, and, like, group announcements won't just disappear after the first one is, like, after you read the announcement, it's not just gonna be dead. Or rather, after you put in a new announcement, the previous announcement is not just going to be dead. So that way you can have, like, a log of various announcements. I don't know if that's already the case or not. I haven't messed around with managing groups. I've joined groups. Okay. You can now read all the recent announcements from a group. Scroll through the latest so-and-so. Okay. Added a little marker where a new announcement is ready for you, and added timestamps to posts. Hell yeah. Added language detection. If your system language is set to a VRChat supported language, we'll automatically switch your client to match. If your system language is set to a VRChat supported language, we'll automatically switch your client to... Oh, that's convenient, dude. That is convenient. So, like, for example, if somebody is... I think Arabic is one of the supported languages, right? I think so. Okay, I don't remember. I think Arabic is supported. I think so. But, like, okay, let's take Japanese, for example. So if somebody has their system language in Japanese and they open up VRChat, and let's say they don't know English, they would then have to somehow navigate to the settings and change the language, right? This would make things a little more easier for them, or a little less tedious for them. Because I remember back in the day, even something like Google, something that millions of people use, billions of people use, right? Even with something like Google, I would have a hard time switching the language to English. I would have to find, because, like, I live in the Middle East, and so based on that, if I opened up Google right now in this private window, it would open up in Arabic. But, like, if I open it in a window where I'm already logged in on another, Firefox window where I'm logged in, there it knows that I've selected English. But if it's a brand new thing, it defaults to Arabic. Now, fortunately, there's an option to switch to English. Back in the day, I would have to find different ways to switch to English, or different ways to even get to that point. Eventually, when I learned to read Arabic, then I was able to find... I had this issue not just with Google, with a bunch of other websites as well. And then eventually, once I learned how to read Arabic, then I was able to sort of make sense out of, oh, okay, this might be... Like, because if Arabic is selected, then it'll say, in Arabic, it'll say Arabic there. So if I see that word, then I know, okay, this is a drop down, and I can, like, change the language or whatever. Anyways, then there's a lot of performance improvements. A general improvement to load times on all platforms, including Worlds, and first joins on Quest. Nice. Numerous frame rate improvements, including frame rate when no mirrors or real-time lights are available. Nameplates now have better performance and less effect on frame rate. All right, you'll skip the download screen. Okay. Fixed a number of rare edge cases that could cause instability, and loading screen and loading screen music they no longer stutter. All right, then there's fixes and improvements in Unity 2022. Yeah, they've switched to Unity 2022 in the beta version, and they've already started like they're using it in the beta version. I don't know if they're doing it in the live version just yet, but they've switched to that in the beta version, which is great because like we jumped from Unity 2019 to 2022. That's amazing. All right, dude. Um, you know what I'm wondering? Like, I keep thinking maybe I should just start doing stuff on my own, but then I keep seeing stuff like, oh, okay, there's an Area 2D thing, which I have no idea what that is, right? So I keep wondering if I should actually give some time to. Just a second. Okay. So, um, oh, Area 2D is a region of 2D space defined by one or multiple collision shape 2D or collision polygon 2D child nodes. It detects when other collision objects enter or exit it. Okay, I think that's what I'm looking for. And it also keeps track of which collision objects haven't. It also keeps track of which objects haven't exited it yet, i.e., which ones are overlapping it. Okay. This node can also locally alter and override physics parameters such as gravity, damping, and route audio to custom audio buses. Oh, that's interesting. Right, so because of stuff like this, I keep thinking, should I? Okay, hold on. Let's go to. Oh, I'm still on this thing. Okay, let me change that back. I just realized I'm still on the large window capture. Okay, great. So I'm wondering if I should go through this thing, read the contents and stuff. Like just skim through it, not actually follow the thing, or if I should just do my own thing. Cuz like I'll learn it eventually. If I have a doubt, I'll Google, "Hey, how do I do this in Godot?" and I'll eventually get the knowledge, right? Now, which method should I take? Fuck it, dude. We'll explore. We're gonna go on an adventure. I don't know how long this adventure is gonna be able to last. Today's adventure on stream, but we're gonna go on an adventure. For the time being, I'm gonna implement this thing that I just learned. Okay, let's move over to script. Let's create a signal. Something underscore happened. Oh, old habit. Okay. Then I think we need to create a function. Do I need to create a function for the signal? Take damage and then do this. Okay. How do I test this out? Oh, okay. Here's what we can do. We can listen for player input. If input dot fuck, I don't remember what it was. Input dot what action? I think action is action pressed. Or was it is action key? Okay, maybe it was is action pressed. Okay, is action pressed UI underscore up. Is space part of this? No, okay, that's probably gonna be a different thing. Okay, UI up. All right. If that is the case, then something happen dot emit. All right, great. So then I save this, and oh, there's an issue. There is the issue. All right, we are good. So now what I can do is I can create. Where exactly did I put the... What is this for? This is sprite2d.godot. Okay. Is that... Yeah, okay. Sprite2d has the thing attached to it. Can I connect... You know what? Let's try it. Let's find out. So let's create... Let's just create an empty node 2D. Okay. And let's go... Okay. Let's make this child. Okay. So I'm trying to get access to that signal that I just created. Something happened. Is it here? Something happened. Okay. All right, so connect from here to... Oh, it cannot connect to child nodes? Okay. What if I... Wait, no. Can it not connect to child nodes, or am I doing something? I think I might be doing something wrong. So we're connecting from here to... Why am I not able to select? Oh, is it because there's no script on there? Yeah, it might be because there's no script on there. Wait. Hold on. I tried to force it. And... What is this? Why is this appearing? I'm not sure what it was connected to. Because I tried to force it by double-clicking here. I'm not sure what exactly it connected to. Like, okay, what am I trying to do here? What I was trying to do is read the input from one place. Oh, okay, fine. So let's delete this. No, let's not delete that. Let's disconnect this. And then let's create a script here. Let's call it that. Okay. And then here, so now that I have this, I can go to node, something happened, and then select this and connect. Okay. So I'm guessing because I double clicked, I'm trying to understand what happened in the previous window, like in the previous scenario. But like, I think what might have happened is I double clicked on a grayed out thing, but because the only thing that could be selected was already selected, me double clicking made it select that same thing again. And so it tried to create the function within that same node's script. All right. So we can get rid of this and do print something happened, fired. All right. So I need to look into how to switch between these tabs. Is there like a... I'm sure there is an option for, because like for example, this commenting thing, it was Control K. I didn't know that. I'm used to doing Control forward slash in VS Code. So I went into the shortcuts and I just changed it. But here, I'm not sure what to look for exactly. That's what I'm trying to see. Wait, there's a theme option here? That's cool. Okay. Let's look at... Let's go into the shortcuts window. Script. Toggle script panel. Next script. Oh, there it is. Next script. Control Shift period. Previous script. So and so. Is control page up and down assigned to something else? Because if it's not, then maybe I could just use that. Oh yeah, there it is. So that's what I was trying to do. I feel like control page up and down would it would be a lot more better for me. So I think I'll change the shortcut. Does Godot let you know if you're changing? Let's test that out. Hold on. So this one is period, right? So if I want to go to the next one, I'll do page down, and the previous one is page up. All right. So next script. For now, let's do Control Shift, comma. Okay. It didn't let me know. Also, there's an ad playing, so I'm gonna hydrate. All right, welcome back. So Godot doesn't let you know when you are overwrite, when you are setting a shortcut. For example, if I'm setting this, if I set the shortcut here to something that already exists, or if I set the shortcut to something that's already, in use, it doesn't let you know. It doesn't warn you. Or does it? Hold on. Let me just look at this. Yeah, I'm not seeing any warnings here. Okay, anyways, that being said, let's do Control page down for next, and then Control page up for previous. And that fixes our problem. Let's go. Wait, am I able to specify which specific window that is? Well, it does say new, next script and previous script. I think it only applies to the script workspace, right? I don't think it applies to any other workspace. Anyways, so we save this, and wait, what is going on? Oh, for a second there, I was confused when I was looking at different code. I was like, is this scrolling or... Fuck. You guys cannot see what I'm doing. I just realized I forgot to transition. Holy shit, dude. Okay, well, now you can see what I'm doing. Fine. So, if I've done this right, then we should be When I hit up, I'm gonna run the thing now. When I hit up, it should. Yep, there it is. Something happened, fired. Okay, great, awesome, cool. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Now I need to look into. I still need to understand how this whole thing is working. I need to explore the concept of signals more. Is the music still playing? Yeah. I need to explore the concept of signals more. Is there a separate section for signals? Have they mentioned anything here? I think there might be a separate section for signals, right? Or whatever they call it. Let's open this up. What are we looking at here? Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Using signals, is this it? No, that's part of the step-by-step thing. Well, I guess maybe the step-by-step thing just gave all of the information that I needed. Maybe I just need to go over this again so I can learn how to connect. How do I reference a separate node? Like, how do I reference a node from the root? Okay, also, does this parent-child relationship need to exist if I'm doing this? Just a second, what happened? Something changed here. Where's that event where's that signal that I made? I made a signal. Oh, the signal is here. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't think the parent-child relationship needs to exist. They can be two separate nodes, right? And it can still work. Like, I can test this out. Let that run, and then, yeah, it still works. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is... Dude, I wonder if I should just explore the entire scripting side, like the entire Godot scripting thing. Like, where is it? Under manual, I think? Scripting? No, not programming languages. What about core features? How to read the Godot API, idle processing, this and this and this, using scene tree, singletons. Okay, I think they cover whatever needs to be done. I want to do as much as I can from code. I don't want to be touching a whole lot of like UI stuff. I mean, I'm going to have to touch some of it, but like as much of it I can do from code. The more I can do from code, the better it is. Of course, not everything has to be done from code, but like I would rather not have to do, for example, stuff like registering events. I would rather not have to do it from... Yeah, okay, hold up. How do I... Let's go back to the... So timer timeout. Get node. Where does getNode get it from? GetNode looks at the child game objects, right? So that's not going to work. How do I reference? Like over here, I need to... Wait, where exactly am I supposed to add that? I don't remember. Oh, under ready. So I need to create a ready function here. I need to get used to this thing where the tabs are here and not over here. I need to get used to that. Oh, okay, so there's already a ready function there for us. So that's great. So here I can do... I don't know, n1 equals, can I get the root node? Because I get node, it fetches a node. The node path can be either a relative path from the current node or an absolute path in the scene tree to a node. If the path does not exist or is null, no, if the path does not exist, null is returned and an error is logged. Attempts to access methods on the return value will result in an attempt to call method on a null. Okay. Fetching absolute paths only works when the node is inside the scene tree. Inside the scene tree. Example, assume your current node is character and the following tree. Root. Okay, is this called root, or should I say node 2D? Wait, wrong thing. Okay, so here we can provide like a node path, right? Does it like do the completion for us here? There's no completion. Okay, root slash sprite 2D. And then n1 dot what? What did I do in the previous thing? Timeout. n1 dot something underscore happen dot connect on something, on sprite 2D something happened. Okay. It's still kind of weird to me that I can add this thing here and there's no parentheses. It's not passed in as a string. I'm just passing it in like that. The syntax is kind of, I'm still getting used to it. Alright, so we've done that. Now that I've done that, I think I can get rid of the connection that was here. Okay. Now, that being said, this should still technically work unless root is wrong. Let's find out. Yeah, something happened here. Invalid get index. Something happened. Oh, on null instance. Oh, so it didn't find the instance. Okay. So let's try node 2D. Still on null instance. Did I spell something happened wrong? No, it seems to be fine here. Seems to be fine here as well. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, let's take a look at the docs. Where was it? Node path. Okay. A pre-parsed scene tree path. A pre-parsed wait. For example, path 2D slash so and so would refer to the size property. You will usually just pass a string to node.getNode and it will be automatically converted, but you may occasionally want to pass a path ahead of time.
والاستمرار في تشغيلها في الخلفية. احصل على يوتيوب ميوزك بريميوم.
Does the inspector show the node path? Let me Google this. Okay. So this is getting interesting now, right? I'm trying to find. Okay, Godot node path. Actually, let me also Google Godot node reference. How to properly reference a node. GetNode takes nodePath as an argument. If it's returning null, then the node can't be found, so nodePath is wrong and node doesn't exist. It does, and after updating, it still doesn't work. I have 20 labels. Okay, that should not be happening. Which version of Godot you're using? Okay, okay. Okay. Wait a second. So let's close all of this because I have a bunch of extras here. Oh, can I just drag and drop the node? Would that work? Wait, is this the path? Hold on, dude. Okay, let's try running it again. That works. Holy shit, dude. Alright, that works. So we have programmatically done it. So I'm kind of getting what they meant by, you know, tight integration, because like being able to drag and drop, super useful. I'm sure the drag and drop thing works for a bunch of other things as well. As we go along, I'll find more uses for it. What happens if I do this? Oh, that's okay. That's the path to that. All right, dude. That's great. Cool. So, unfortunately, I do have to end the stream right now. I wish I would have started earlier, but like, I got distracted. Let's just say I got distracted. Actually, no, to be honest, well, yeah, you can say I got distracted. I finished my dinner. I finished my dinner like, I don't know, half an hour before when I was supposed to start streaming. Or I think I started my dinner half an hour before I was. Anyways, I got late. So it's fine. I'm gonna carry on like messing around here and finding ways to do various things because like this is all exciting to me. Dude, let me just put this out there before I end the stream. I'm loving learning a new game engine because it is, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but like it is bringing me the same joy that I got when I was first learning Unity. I like that. But yeah, dude, that's going to be it for today's stream. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all next time. Peace.